Next is from Frank Ram, and the subject is Tony Khan apologizing for promos on Dynamite. What's up, fellas? First off, let me say I've been a longtime fan of both y'all. Konnan, I started watching AAA with my grandma, who called me over to watch, and she knew I was a WWF fan. I saw Jake Roberts was on the show. Gave it a chance and became a huge fan. Disco, appreciate and agree with most of your takes on the podcast. You bring a lot of common sense to some of the crazy topics y'all tackle on the show. And Joe is cool, too. I was wondering if you also saw the Tony Khan tweet where he apologized for having promos on AEW TV. It read, Wednesday's hashtag AEW Dynamite after a hashtag Grand Slam was the first Dynamite with 3 lengthy live promo segments in one show since 12/9/20, following hashtag Winter is Coming. Both 12/9/20 plus this week needed these promos to follow up on newsworthy supercards. I promise we won't lose focus on the wrestling. Why would he even bring this up and open the floodgates of the Twitter trolls to have a field day with this? Even if he thinks he made a goofing error by having the 3 promos, why bring it up? And don't these promos add balance to a show that is really wrestling heavy? Thanks and God bless. It's Frank Rand from Azusa, California. P.S. Konnan, please tell Conrad that AAA is not pronounced Tripla. Dude is literally pronounced it Tripla on several of his podcasts. And KG. Thank you for your comments there at the end. I had no Tony. Bro, Tony's clueless if he is apologizing for having 3 promo segments as if that's like a bad thing on a show. I like this kind of like, dude. If this guy like literally thinks that just sticking wrestling and tons of wrestling on a show and not having character development, and you haven't apologized for having these long promo segments. It's like sometimes the long promo segments are the things that draw. You know, it's like I don't know. He's obviously getting some very, very, very bad advice from people in his ear. Because if they're telling, if he's thinking that somebody said, "Oh, AEW had too many long promos on the show today," and he's taking that criticism as like having any weight to it, he needs to get outside of his echo chamber, whoever he's talking to, and learn, that promo time is very valuable for character development. Well, and on a show where your characters are not very well developed at all, this is not a bad thing. What would you say to this, Konnan?
I agree, bro. I mean, that's character development. It's if you got good talkers like Moxley or Jericho or MJF, that's a plus, and that's how you sell matches. That's how you tie together matches, and it's another instrument in storytelling. So for you to go, we need more wrestling and less talking. What?
Yeah, you need more talking. If you had tons of bro, the numbers don't lie. The numbers on the show they're stuck. You have a core audience that's not growing at all.
Well, you got to remember, people were watching the hurricane news.
Yeah, so maybe he's reacting and tweeting that because the numbers were down slightly. But I mean, I was there.
Well, the opening segment dropped. The openings. I'm surprised at this. Okay, I'm genuinely surprised. But bro, the opening segment, like they had a 1.2 million lead in from what do you call it? From the Big Bang. So the very first top of the hour, 1.2 million people. Bro, that first segment with everybody on the ring with the pizza guy and everything, that lost 200,000 viewers.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And usually, I will say this: I was surprised at that because whenever you have a segment on a show traditionally that is visually looking completely different from most of the show, people will hang on that for a bit and watch it. And you had all these guys in the ring with purple outfits on and stuff and things like for a visual, it's like your channel serving this not just a match in the ring and you're watching this. I would have thought, you know what I'm saying, but obviously it didn't. Like. I guess it's bro. Maybe people saw the pizza guy in there and just thought, "What the f is this?" and turned it off because that's a really corny gimmick,
I just think it was because it wasn't all about him. I just think it was too long and it went all over the place, and it was people were like, "What the f?"
Right? They're arguing, and the premise of the thing is, "Are you a wrestler or a sports entertainer?" Right. And it's like that's kind of a silly what? Who cares, right? That's like you know what? You make a good point, Konnan. They're making an angle out of smart Mark stuff, and people just are not with it. Like a wrestler versus sports entertainer. That's like a smart Mark argument. So I don't know. I don't want to be considered. We're hating all the time in AEW, so it's like I'm sure this will get on YouTube.
Well, I think by this point, if people don't understand that we just stated not hate, that's the problem. Not ours. We can't be explaining it every 2 minutes. These are we like, and there's we don't like. That's it. You don't gotta love it all, and you don't gotta hate it all. We're commenting on a show. We're
Right.
we're reviewing a show just like we would be reviewing a movie.
Right.
I like this part. I didn't like this part. What's the difference?
We're reviewing a game.
Right.
You know, we're visually consuming visual media on television and telling you what we feel about what was produced. So
Right.
it's like,